Well, hello everyone. What a hike that was. I'm Jason Brinkman. As you can see behind me, I love to do just about anything and everything outdoors. I love my mountain biking, my shooting sports, my bow hunting, my whitewater kayaking, camping, and especially backpacking. So today I just wanted to go over backpacking, what to pack in your pack, what to bring, what to have, what's nice to have, and just share my knowledge and share what kind of gear I use and like to have and take with me. So naturally I like to have a ball cap, some kind of a hat. Sometimes I use a cowboy hat, sometimes just a regular ball cap. And if it's cold outside, I have one of the stocking cap beanie hats, whatever you want to call those. Proper shoes. These are my hiking shoes that I use. I'm in the southeast part of the United States, and I was always a runner, so I like to cover a lot of trail rather quickly. 20 plus miles in a day is a good day for me. So typically I X on the ankle support and get something that's a little more lightweight, a little bit more like a running shoe type trail shoe. That's just my preference. If I was way up north and dealing with very rough, rocky terrain, I would probably most definitely go for the ankle support and even maybe a steel-toed boot. But that's just preference. That's what I like and what I use. Another thing that's nice to have in camp, some kind of a other lightweight secondary shoe to wear, maybe something to wear without socks to let your feet breathe, that kind of a deal. But let's go ahead and dive into the backpack. First things first, with the backpack, this is a good 3 to 5 day pack right here, large, 4,000 cubic square inches. It expands a lot bigger than it is right now. What you see right now is just with your gear and clothes for about 3 days, where the clothes and your gear, no food in here right now, and I don't have all my water containers filled up or anything. So it would end up for a 4-day trip with water and food. I'd end up probably about anywhere from 50 to 65 pounds in my pack for 4 days. That's quite a lot, quite a lot of food and clothes. And that's pretty good weight. If I was doing just an overnight hike, I would go just a little bit smaller on my bag, a little less weight, less food, less clothes, something a little smaller. If I was, and that would be like 1 night, 2 nights. If I was just doing some day hikes, or I was doing a lightweight single nighter in the summertime, lighter weight clothes, lighter weight sleeping bag. Maybe a little bit less gear, I could use something like this for a solid 1 day, maybe 1 night backpack. So when you pack your backpack, you want the bulk of your weight, your heaviest items, you want it closest to your back and somewhat down low. Maybe not at the very bottom, maybe put something a little softer at the very, very bottom, so that when you set the pack down on the ground, it doesn't break anything, and also provide good stability for it when it's sitting down on the ground. It's not going to immediately just fall over. And then on top of that, you pack your heaviest stuff, and then work your way up. You want your lightest items on the outside edges and sides and front and up top. Anything bulky that's lightweight, it's good to put up top. So I'm just going to go through it as I unload it here. From the top, I have my sleeping pad. This is an accordion foam one. That's what I have, what I use, my preference. You can get the self-inflating ones. You can get the rolled up foam ones. This is just the one I have, the one I use, the one I like. If I'm going super lightweight, I'm not going to bring a chair or stool, camping stool, something like this that I have here behind me. If I'm not bringing that, if I'm going more lightweight, don't want that weight or that bulkiness to it on my pack, I'll just bring a little rubber foam mat like this that I can sit on, kneel on, use to keep my food prepping stuff clean. So I bring that instead of a chair. On the outside of the pack, you want things that you really need to get to quick and in a hurry. I happen to just, because this particular pack has so many pockets and pouches everywhere, and sometimes I'll put things in the same spot, sometimes I'll change it up. It just depends on when I pack it, and where I'm going, what I'm doing. But I have some lightweight cold weather, or colder weather for the south here, so hat and gloves, lightweight gloves. Definitely want your first aid kit, a backpacking type first aid kit, lightweight, you know, the basics of what you need. You want that handy, and you typically want to let anybody and everybody in your group know where your first aid kit is, so that if something happens to you or somebody else, everybody knows who's got a solid first aid kit and where it's at to get to it in a quick and a hurry. I like having a little small roll of electrical tape. It's always nice to have tape for along with the first aid kit or whatever. You never know. Tape is nice to have. I also have a clip-on light for my hat up here as well, because sometimes you're hiking and it gets dark faster than you planned on it getting to your destination. So it's nice to have your light, primary camp light handy for you. I have my CamelBak here, smaller, lightweight CamelBak that I use that I would fill up and be drinking the whole time I'm on the trail. I also have my hard Nalgene bottle type water container for storage and extra drinking water, cooking water if I need to cook a lunch on the trail. I have water in a hard container for that. I also have, not that I bring them anytime and every time, but I also have your extendable hiking poles. So I have those, 2 of those. I might bring only one, I might bring both. I might not bring any at all. Depends on, again, how much hiking I'm doing, what kind of trail it is. Another nice thing to have, this pack actually has it down at the bottom in another storage compartment built into it. But this is a detached waterproof rain cover for your pack, so if it starts raining while you're hiking, you can throw this on the outside of your pack and keep going, and all your stuff stays dry. So that's was in another pocket there. Down at the bottom on the front here, I have a machete with the saw on the back side of it for firewood and whatever. I also have a flattened roll of toilet paper, because when duty calls, you want that quick and easy to be accessible for you. I also have, again, not a must, but some people like to have them, binoculars or minocular, singular eyeglass piece. They're about the same size, weight thing, just personal preferences. I have both. I use the monocular for all my shooting sports and that kind of stuff. Just, again, personal preference. See, I also have up in the top of it here, I have a small little waterproof box for cards, credit cards, money, keys, and important things that you don't want to leave in the car or at home. If you have insurance card, stuff like that. I have my lantern, camp lantern, collapsible lantern, up there as well, in there as well. And I have, because I might not want to wear my ball cap when I'm in camp the whole time, so I would prefer to have a light that is just a strap headlamp. Always good to have more than one flashlight. I have some zip ties. Sometimes it's just easier, you're lazy or whatever. Zip tie comes in handy. Maybe something breaks, and a zip tie will be the quick fix so that you don't have to worry about making something work. Zip tie will be a quick fix. Here's my camp spoon, fork, knife, all-in-one tool for eating. Again, not a must, and just a luxury item. It's a backtracker, GPS and compass system. Here's my secondary pocket knife, that has tools on it. My primary knife I keep on the shoulder strap, along with on the other side I have a microfiber hand towel that I like to have while I'm hiking to dry the sweat off my face or clean something real quick. My sunglasses that I have around my neck here. So here's my second knife that has some extra tools on it. It's nice to have a knife that has all those extra little tools. I have some extra clips, carabiner type clips, and my lighter for cooking, or not that I smoke, but if you smoke, that's that. Okay, so that's pretty much the outside of my pack. Everything that I want accessible quickly to me. Pretty much everything is lightweight except for the water, but the water you want on easy to get to on the trail. Once you open your pack, you want your lighter things up top. So here I have my microfiber towel, big towel. It's a little bit smaller than like your bath towel at home, but it's obviously more compact and it dries really fast, which is nice down here in the southern states where the humidity's through the roof. You want things that dry quickly. You don't want stuff, whether it's clothing, towels, whatever. You don't want stuff that's gonna stay wet for forever. Next, I would have my cooking kit and mess kit and stove, along with my food. Obviously, I didn't do the food because I'm not going anywhere right now. It's just in my backyard. Here's my stove, fuel, and then this is my mess kit, cooking kit. It has a pot and pan and all that kind of junk. Then I would also have my food right here, and along with it, because typically I'm going to need water for about half of my meals, plus I'm going to, at that point when I'm sitting down for a meal, I might want some more water, need to go get some more water from a stream or lake or whatever body of water. So I have a purifier filter pump system. This is one of the higher end ones. For each filter is good to like 3 to 500 gallons of water per filter. Again, that's one of the nicer ones. You can get some of the smaller, lighter weight ones that only purify so much water. So for like a one-nighter, I'd go in that direction rather than bringing that thing. It's really not that heavy and it's not all that big. But if you're in a group and only one person has a water filter, that's most ideal. Next, I would have my clothes, as they're along with the food. Food and clothes are pretty much your heavier items, and then your tent. But clothes, I like to pack one day's set in a Ziploc bag. That way, it ensures that my clothes are dry and clean when I put them on. When I first put them on. So I have 3 days worth of clothes right there, 3 outfits. Then I would get to my tent and my sleeping bag, which kind of sit down there at the bottom next to each other. My tent is actually already set up over here, and I have a second backpacking tent that I have. This is roughly the size that they are, and they're anywhere from 3.5 to 6 pounds, depending on the type and how large of a tent it is. And that's roughly the size it is. Some are longer and skinnier, some are shorter and fatter, like this one. I would also have a camping pillow. Here's one that blows up, but it's a little bit more of a luxurious one. Some of them are in stuff sacks, and they fluff out and expand like your sleeping bag does. End up being about half the size of this. I have some other I have three different sleeping bags here. I have this is my primary that I use in the fall and winter time. It's a 30-degree bag in its compression sack. I have another 30-degree mummy bag that's in a compression sack, but this is a shorter one. It's not as long. My son uses this one. It's good for anybody 5 feet shorter. Good kid sleeping bag, a 30-degree bag. And then I have my tiny little summer bag. It's a 45-degree bag. It's called a jungle bag on here on the compression sack, and it's not even really compressed yet. It gets even smaller than that. But this is great for summertime overnight, one night hikes. And so my primary bag, I have the sleeping bag. I also have a bag liner that's inside the sleeping bag that I can then remove and wash by itself, and that way I don't have to wash the actual sleeping bag, because all my nasty dirt and sweat and stuff gets on the liner, not the sleeping bag. Saves the life of the sleeping bag. The fewer times you wash it, the better. The better it performs at keeping you warm. And then on the outside of that, if I'm doing a tent, that's it. That's all I need is those two things. If I'm, instead of doing a tent, going a little more extreme and doing a hammock type setup and sleeping in a hammock rather than a tent, for me it's a must, but not always everybody necessary, to have what they call a bivy, waterproof bag liner that your sleeping bag then goes inside of, and it's a waterproof outer shell type deal to keep you and your sleeping bag dry from any kind of moisture that's in the air that accumulates overnight, or if it rains. Definitely keeps you dry if it rains when you're sleeping in your sleeping bag. I also have my smaller blow-up pillow, which is tiny, inside a zippered outer pocket there. Again, it's all personal preferences. Rather than doing a tent, another option is tents. Usually, like I said, roughly 4 or 5 pounds, and so big, and X amount of dollars. Sometimes you can save a little bit of money, or if you want to buy the hammock tent system where it's all put together as one piece, those are a little on the pricier end, about as much as a backpacking tent is, the higher quality backpacking tents. Otherwise, you can do what I did, is you just get your parachute hammock right there. You get a lightweight backpacking tarp to string up above you, over it, with some nylon paracord rope and some stakes to stake it all down. And then here are the tree strap systems for the trees. So all of that went in this bag, which you could see was almost half the size of the backpacking tent, and it cuts off about 1 pound or 2. So it's a lighter weight system, lighter weight way to go if you're really going on the extreme end of things. I also have some of my own modified invention type deals. I have a little aluminum sheet table that just uses some long stakes, and that way I have a flat, clean cooking surface. I also have one over here that I have my mug. Not a must. If you have your drinking containers, you just drink out of those. Sometimes if you're doing coffee in the morning, instant coffee or hot chocolate, or you wanted to eat or drink your soup out of, or grits, or oatmeal, breakfast item, you have a cup for that, cup, mug. And then there's this one of my other backpacking stoves on top of one of those tables that is rigged to attach to a tree. So I have that as well. I hope that you guys learned something today that you didn't know before, or got to see some cool, innovative gear that you haven't seen before. If you have any questions, just message me about it, and enjoy your camping experience.